got the Marzocchi Bomber on the Patrol, the CR, with a light compression tune down from its standard medium tune. 5 clicks of low speed compression again, which was the same as I had before. So low speed feels the same, but the high speed definitely feels better. It definitely feels way more compliant. Let's tip it in and see how it goes. I can be way more aggressive down that hill. It doesn't feel choppy at all or unnerving. It's not throwing my weight around. Carrying good speed. Could have probably doubled that. Certainly feels fast. Oh, wasted that entry. No matter. Woo. Oh, front end could do with just a touch less high speed compression. As you can hear it bounce off that root, that's just a little much. Woo! That was almost a pedal strike. Getting cheeky out of the corner. Oh, and I missed that apex of that turn too. I was just thinking about the variables in the fork and not the trail. Sending it into theirs, way better. Again, I send it too deep, squared off that turn. It's a bit better. Definitely back off that high speed on the fork. Not by much, but certainly a little. Yeah, this bike is so rad now. It is so good. And just a little cheeky spoiler for you guys. I've just purchased a new frame. So you'll see what that is in a few weeks. But I'm going to do a ground up build. But anyway, Cyclonic, nailed it. This Marzocchi Bomber is phenomenal. Cheap shock, 480 bucks plus 80 bucks to change the tune. 560 bucks. And it's made this bike exactly what I want, bar the ride height. But as you can see, I can deal with the ride height. It's no problems. If I was to switch up to a progressive coil, I'd have to go through the same, I don't know, but I think I'll have to go through the same nonsense with spring rates. Different, so Fox doesn't do a dual rate spring. So I'm gonna have to find either a Cane Creek Volt spring or a MRP dual rate to chuck on here, hoping that the rates are the same, because Olin's spring, say an Olin's 450, not that I make a 450 exactly, but an Olin's weight spring isn't apples for apples on a Fox weight spring, and a Fox weight spring isn't apples for apples for RockShox weight spring. So I don't know what they're weighing it against. It's the numbers should be clear. It's 450 pounds of force to push it through an inch of its travel. I think that's right. So why is Fox, you know, 450 on a Fox is 400 or closer to 400 on a RockShox? I don't understand it. How's it different? So that's a bit of an annoyance. So if I'm chasing springs, that's definitely going to be annoying, but otherwise this thing's mint. So I'm just going to leave a standard coil on it, a standard coil spring, because it feels excellent, and the ride height I can deal with. And I'm going to tip it into a few trails on the weekend that are steep, where I need that lower ride height, where I really like that lower ride height. But I think, and it's the same with all the air shocks that I've had, so I can get my Super Deluxe to feel exactly like that just felt at this exact ride height, but I don't like that ride height in comparison to the ride height that I can get with the Super Deluxe, a little bit deeper in its travel and a different configuration with the tokens, going a little bit more ramp in the spring. I prefer a little lower. It shreds the corners harder, and it's way more calm in the steep stuff. But we'll see how it goes here. It's very close, and I think it's gonna be the sweet spot. I got 92 in the fork, and I've actually gone. So last time I serviced it was just recently. I put minimal grease on the top of the air spring this time, because it always leaks heaps of grease into that negative spring, which you'll all see when you do a service. You see all the grease from the top of in the positive side migrates down into the negative side. When they come from factory, they're full of grease in the negative side. Yeah, so what I did, sorry I got sidetracked then, distracted. What I've done this time is gone very little grease, still got the one token, but found one token wasn't enough. So I've put, there's probably at least 6 or 7 cc's of grease, so nearly another full token, into the, on the top of this, basically covered the first token with grease, and it feels phenomenal. It's 92. I could probably go a little bit more grease in there, or next time I service it, no grease on the top hat, or very minimal grease on the top hat, and 2 tokens, and see what that feels like. But the thing feels wild. A little bit too much on the high speed compression. We'll back that off now. 1, 2 clicks, that'll be stellar. Otherwise it's killer. Shout out Cyclinic, good effort, thank you, simple job. Transition Patrol, this thing's an absolute weapon.